Welcome to HAVAN's Home Energy Masterclass. In this series, we'll explore the sources of energy available in BC to run your home, the different systems available, and associated running costs. We'll look at what you can do to improve energy efficiencies, as well as exploring clean energy solutions to help you make the right energy choice. And I'm looking forward to sharing my industry knowledge and personal home buying experiences to help you achieve an affordable, efficient home with a desired level of comfort to fit your lifestyle now and in the future. Hi, my name is Bob Anderson, and I work with Fortis BC here in British Columbia. I look after the residential and small commercial energy solutions group, who are out there every day helping people in British Columbia solve energy situations or problems that they may have. I'd like to share with you a couple of stories about buying homes. I think many of us find that task very daunting, and I remember very clearly when we were buying our first home and looking back at that and how literally naive both my wife and I were at the time. We bought an older home out in the country, and we were just so happy to actually be able to afford a home of our own that we overlooked an awful lot of things. And hopefully today I can help you not repeat the same mistakes that we made when we were first buying our home. Things like, when you look at a home, affordability is obviously important in terms of actually being able to afford the home, but you got to make sure that you're in the right neighborhood. You got to make sure that your home someday will be a home that you'll be able to sell again. And you have to have a pretty good idea of what you're getting into in terms of upgrades and repairs. And that's why buying a brand new home can have significant advantages, and not being in a position where you have to deal with all of those things. But there are some hurdles there too. Another great example of things you have to consider when you're buying a home is where you are in your life. Are you a young couple starting out, planning on having a family someday? Are you at a point of retirement? Are you downsizing? There's a lot of things to consider in that regard. I remember when our eldest son was looking to buy his first home. It was a condominium, and I remember sitting with him at the bank, and we were going over the details. And one of the things in the condo agreement, it was that this was a building that was restricted to 19 years of age or older. And I pointed that out to my son, and he said, "Well, what's the problem, Dad? I'm 21. And I said, "Yeah, I understand that, but if you ever want to have a family, you are not going to have a child born at 19 years of age or older." And he looked at me with a kind of a stunned look and realized that that might be a problem if he was ever to start a family. And he would realize then, of course, that he'd have to sell that property. Those are the kinds of things that we need to look out for when we're considering buying. Recently, my wife and I have actually downsized and moved into a condo in the last 3 or 4 years. And we find that lifestyle absolutely great, but we do miss our home because of the space and the neighborhood. Having said that, there's a lot of things to consider in home ownership, not just the mortgage payment, but being able to actually afford to run the home. All those things you don't think about when the roof needs to be redone, or the eaves troughs need to be adjusted, or the deck needs to be painted, along with the costs of garbage collection, water, and all those other ancillary costs related to running a home. Energy is a big component of that as well, and we'll get into that a little bit more as we go through this program.